Imagine being just 20 years old and living completely debt-free in a beautiful DIY house that you built with your very own hands. Today here in Bristol, England, we're about to meet a young man who took that dream and turned it into his reality. Hey Tom, how's it going?
Oh, nice to meet you, Bryce.
Great to meet you as well, and wonderful to see your house.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's especially exciting for me to be here because this is actually my very first English tiny house.
Oh, no way. I'm leading the movement, aren't I?
You certainly are with this one. What was it that inspired you to build a tiny?
Well, just all the problems with the housing prices, and also I just want my own freedom to go out and just build what I want to build. Because I just started my apprenticeship as well, and I just wanted to build my house all from scratch with all reused materials as well. So it's all on a budget. Yeah, so my idea on building a hut was just to keep it all simple and just live that simple life, stress-free, to be honest, where I own everything I've got and I've paid it all off. It's all mine, and being 20, it's lovely not having to worry about having to spend all my money on someone else's rent. And it's just a simple life, and that all you've got is, once you've built it, it's just yours then, and that all you own, all of it, everything inside, so you can just relax and be at ease, to be honest.
And your parking spot here, this is really idyllic, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm super lucky with the parking spot, yeah. So it's my grandparents' land, so I was really lucky just to have it and start the build as well. That's what sort of spurred me on to do the build, because I was like, well, I've got land and got a trailer as well, so I might as well do it. Got no reason why not to, yeah.
Fantastic. I'm really happy that this is actually very quintessentially English looking as well.
Yeah, no, I like to keep it all rustic, and I wanted to keep it looking English as well, with the window at the top and that, with the sidings as well.
Yeah. And you were actually 17 years old when you started building this, weren't you?
Yeah, so I bought the trailer when I was 17, and then started the build from there, and then turned 18 in the summer. And then, yeah, I finished it about a couple of weeks ago, yeah.
And you're a carpenter by trade?
Yeah, by trade. I just finished my qualification about 3 months ago, so.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much, yeah.
So this was kind of all part of your learning curve then?
Yeah, it definitely was a big learning curve, even though I have a bit of experience with carpentry. Yeah, it's all the electrics and plumbing as well. That was a big learning curve as well.
And how did you find the whole build process?
Yeah, it was good. It was challenging at points, just trying to get my head around it, because you have to have the bigger picture before you start. And a lot of it was just sketches and then laying it out and seeing if it works all right and stuff.
And going from a place where you had absolutely no experience, starting your apprenticeship and then building your own home, what was that whole learning curve like?
Oh, it was really hard, yeah. It was just maybe like studying on YouTube, like how to do little bits and bobs, seeing what other people were doing. And yeah, the hardest thing was the roof, definitely. Yeah. Because I have no experience in like cutting tin and laying that all and making sure it's all waterproof and stuff. Yeah. Because that's where the big problems lie if you don't get the roof right. Yeah, no, that was the hardest bit.
And so tell me about the build. What materials did you use in this?
Yeah, so I've used larch on the front, which I bought from a local lumber yard. There's a funny story behind that as well. So the materials was on a wasp nest, so they said you can have it. It's £5 a length if you get it from the wasp nest. So we had to go up there and get it, yeah, because I couldn't let it go, to be honest, because it's too cheap. So the sidings on the backs and fronts, it's like fence panel, so it's really cheap. And yeah, all the windows here you see in doors are all recycled. I bought them off of Gumtree's website, where you just buy sort of secondhand stuff. I went around Bristol and surrounding areas just picking it up on my roof rack. It was quite hilarious. So like the doors were £10, the top windows are £5. So yeah, it's all cheap materials.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and then this deck was recently installed. It's all old scaffold planks. I went to a scaffold company and said, I'll buy some boards off you. And they're like, yeah, no worries. And yeah, so I bought some of them and made it all. All this wood's second-hand as well from work, all scrap wood. So yeah, that's the perks of being a carpenter, I suppose.
It certainly is.
Yeah.
And what size is the tiny house?
So it's a 5 metre chassis by 2.5 metres wide. And I did the 2.5 metres because it complies with the road regulations. So it has to fit down a road, which is 2.4.
And fitting on the road here, that is a much more difficult task than, say, fitting on the road in America, because your roads here tend to be quite small and pokey quite often.
Yeah,
don't they
can be very narrow at points, especially around in the countryside here. Yeah, it's definitely a struggle.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
And then you've built a utility box on it around the back as well?
Yeah, that's just got all my spare materials in it and all my pumps for the water, because I'm running off of rain collection off of the back for the shower.
Great.
And the water in here, and it goes through a filter in the back. Also, I've got batteries and inverters there ready to set up the solar panels up on the roof.
Does solar work here in England? Because I don't think I've seen a sunny day since I've arrived.
Yeah, it's all right-ish. Yeah, it's not amazing. You know, it's not as good as obviously in America and stuff, but yeah, no, it should work a little bit. Yeah.
That's good to know. Well, the house looks really brilliant from the outside. I really love how you've kept this wonderful English style, and I am very interested to see what you've done inside. Can we take a look?
Yeah, come on in.
All right, thank you. Oh, this is lovely. I really like the style of what you've created in here. All of this reclaimed timber just makes for such a nice feature, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, that was my goal all the way along, just to use reclaimed timber throughout the build, because it's on a budget. And yeah, like all this cladding here, which is all pallets from the local yards basically. And I went round and collected it all, dried it all out and stored it, yeah. I like using reclaimed timber because it's got heritage behind it. So a lot of this stuff that I built in my shed was mainly like houses I've ripped out. So it's like old fashioned like shelving. So I've taken them back in the back of my car, sanding them up and reused them again. Now it just gives you that sense of accomplishment when you've reclaimed something that was once something else. And
then you've got a bit of a dining table and workspace over here?
Yeah, I just needed that extra space, to be honest, to do a bit of work at and also eat breakfast at. And yeah, I've got another chair stowed behind here, but that's the main swivelly chair to go down there. And this does fold down if you need to use extra space or whatever when friends are around. It's all reclaimed timber as well.
Lovely. I really like how walking in, you're also greeted by this wonderful feature picture that you've put on the wall.
Yeah, I wanted to bring the outside in, to be honest. Yeah, I really like the landscape of that. So yeah, pop that one up.
And then we've got your couch here.
Yeah, this is a second-hand couch, but yeah, it does the job.
Yeah, and obviously that's just a completely standard couch, isn't it? You haven't put any storage or anything in there?
No, it's on wheels, but no, it's just a standard couch. I would like to, in the future, build one with storage underneath it, so it'll help keep all my clothing in the house.
And then really cozy looking fireplace, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it definitely needed a fireplace. That's the only heat I get from in here. I don't have any other heating. It's all done to log burner, so once that gets going, it's really hot in here.
Yeah, I bet. And then a good sized television in here as well?
Yeah, it's got to be done, yeah. I can watch some nice films on that, yeah. It's on a mount as well, so I can watch it up in the bedroom.
Oh, so, fantastic.
Yeah, luxuries.
It certainly is. Well, yeah, and movie nights in front of the fire. Who could ask for more?
Yeah, no, it's brilliant.
And then over here we've got your kitchen.
Yeah, I really like my kitchen, to be honest, because it's all reclaimed and it's all quite cheap, because kitchens are normally really expensive. So
yeah, they are.
Yeah, so all the tops are made of scaffold planks, which I got from the local scaffold place, and also spent hours sanding them down and putting varnish on them. But yeah, no, it's come out really good.
All the necessary appliances as well?
Yeah, I started to stockpile all my necessary things to cook in. It's all run off of 240. So.
Yeah, and how are you finding cooking in the kitchen?
Yeah, it's good, but you just have to keep on top of cleaning stuff because it's quite small. But yeah, for me and my girlfriend, yeah, it's perfect when she comes around.
And then is that your bathroom through there?
Yeah, this is my bathroom through here, yeah.
Can we check it out?
Yeah, no worries. This is the little toilet. It's got a tiny little doorway. That's all we could fit in.
That is a tiny doorway. Yeah. Why is it so small?
Well, it's just had a problem with the kitchen worktops, and I didn't want it to go out too far into the living area, so had to make it really small.
Gosh.
But yeah, it's small.
Well, you're going to have to make sure that you stay at the gym then with a doorway that small.
Yeah, definitely. It's tiny, isn't it? Yeah, and I've got a toilet as well. It's just a normal chemical toilet, but I went for the fancy one. It's got electric water flush in it and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, and in here I've got my shower room, which is all made of corrugated sheet iron in there as well. I
really like how you've done the copper piping and the taps up there as well.
Yeah, no, I wanted to keep it all rustic and simple because obviously I don't have a lot of plumbing skills, so I just thought if we go for basic. And it's sort of farmhousey. I wanted to keep it sort of like traditional farmhouse, like shower room, yeah.
And how do you heat your water here?
So my water's done off of a 50-litre immersion heater water tank, which is under the kitchen here. And I've got a switch here that you switch on about 20 minutes and you've got 50 litres of hot water, which does you for about a 4-minute shower and a bit of hot washing up water as well.
Just what you need.
Yeah.
And then above, we've got your sleeping loft.
Yeah, it's very small as well, but it does the job once you're in there. It's a bit of a TARDIS. Once you get up into there, it's really nice and cozy, to be honest. It's got a double mattress up there, so yeah, it's perfect.
Great, it does look really cozy. And
Yeah.
then again, it's really nice how in the dormer there you've got that LED light window looking out onto the garden.
Yeah, that's nice as well for ventilation up there, because sometimes it does get quite hot in the summer.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's really good.
Quite a clever contraption that you've created up here for your access as well.
Yeah, well, it's really hard to think of a way of getting a ladder which is not in the way, because I only need it for here. I don't need it for up there. I can reach. But yeah, so I thought I'd put it up on a swing in on some rope and a pulley. Then you just lower it down when you need to go up for bed, and then hoist it back up when you're in the lounge and kitchen.
Nice and easy.
Yeah, no, it's really simple.
So how long have you been living in the house now?
Yeah, so it's about 3 weeks now I've been living in it, but I've been living in it on and off on the weekends, just getting used to what I need and what more I need to do to the hut. So yeah, you learn every week what you think. You think, oh, I need that. Because you don't know what you need until you live in it. There's always bits to add.
Very true. Yeah. And so far, how are you finding living here?
Yeah, really nice, to be honest. Yeah, it's got everything I need in it. I don't need anything more. I've got a TV, got power. It's all perfect, yeah.
And what about the cost of creating this place?
Yeah, so when I started building it at 17, I was an apprentice, so I was on, like £4 an hour. So it was a struggle at first, but I get paid weekly, so I was doing a little bit, putting a bit aside, and then buying materials and just building my way up through that. And it cost about £6,000 all in, all of it. So
about
yeah.
£6,000?
Yeah.
That is a phenomenal result.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy with it, yeah. So I've just been keeping tabs of receipts and then added it all up, and yeah, it comes to about £6,000, so yeah.
So £6,000, you're 20 years old,
yeah,
and you now own your first home.
Yeah, I'm really happy.
Wonderful. You should be very, very proud of what you've created here.
Thank you very much. My hut's, it just feels really special, to be honest, because everything in there I've put my blood, sweat and tears into making. Yeah, it's been challenging at points, like sometimes I wanted to give up, but now I've finally achieved it. It's really good. And I love going in there and just looking around and be like, actually, I built all of this in here. Yeah, and it's all mine, yeah.
Tom, this is such a cool house that you've created here. I'm so impressed with how young you were when you got stuck into this project, and I think you have just completely set yourself up here for a wonderful start to life. Thank you so much for sharing it with me.
No worries, it's been a pleasure, mate.
Thank you. This reminds me of some of the very first tiny houses that I ever saw back in New Zealand. Back when tiny houses were really small, really affordable, DIY, grassroots. This is just bringing all of that back to me, and it is so exciting to see this project and what he's accomplished here.